Today on the spot, we get the latest this week on Wii Shop Channel and the new releases hitting store shelves. Then we go for double demos with God of War Ghost of Sparta on the PSP and Sims 3 console. Today on the spot.
Welcome everybody to an episode of Today on the Spot. We've prepared for you specially this Tuesday, October 19th. I'm your host, Chris Waters. My co-host, Sophia Tong.
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Are you busy this week?
I am busy this week. It's like the season of rhythm games, and so I have like all different aches in my arms where I don't usually have them.
Are you losing your voice too?
A little bit. I'm like really stepping up my game for the show. Otherwise, I'm on vocal rest. My reviews coach is advising me to take it easy. There are a lot of games coming out this week, and we got a lot of games on the show for you folks. But of course, we're going to start it off with the latest headlines from the GameSpot news team.
Hey everybody, it's your GameSpot news update for Tuesday, October 19th. I'm Tor Thorson. This morning, THQ revealed it has locked down rights to develop and publish games based on the Ultimate Fighting Championship brand through 2018. The agreement with UFC's parent company, Zuffa, is wide in scope, covering games for all current and next-generation consoles, as well as all handhelds, the PC, the iPhone, and the iPad. The deal covers any online games, as well as games on social networks such as Facebook. The THQ UFC deal comes just a few months after UFC 2010 Undisputed fell short of expectations. Though the game shipped 2.7 million units for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, it still lagged behind the 3.5 million units UFC 2009 Undisputed sold through. As a result, THQ decided to expand the window between the games in the series, with the next installment expected in fall 2011. In other THQ news, the American publisher announced today it has hired one of the top developers on the market. The company has hired Patrice Désilets to help it found a new studio in Montreal, site of his former employer, Ubisoft Montreal. There, Désilets garnered acclaim for his work as a creative director on Prince of Persia: Sands of Time and the wildly successful Assassin's Creed series. But what will Désilets be doing at THQ? Starting next summer, the developer will be hiring a team who will be at the core of THQ's ongoing push to create new intellectual property. I mean, he did it for Assassin's Creed, right? Well, that's it, your GameSpot news update for Tuesday, October 19th. For more headlines, head on over to news.gamespot.com.
As Chris mentioned earlier, it's a busy review season right now. Fallout New Vegas, DJ Hero 2 are just a couple of them. Let's find out what else is coming out this week with new releases.
This week in new releases. Last week's new release plate was focused on the Afghan War, Mexican wrestling, and adjectives, but this week's attention is channeled into radioactive wastelands, Nintendo's pink mascot, turntables, cage fighting action, and soccer. Leading the pack this week is Fallout New Vegas for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. Developed by Obsidian Entertainment, the role-playing game is set in the Mojave Wasteland and casts players in the role of a courier who gets shot in the head over a package and is left for dead. After recovering, players will be free to roam the desert, exploring new areas and modifying weapons. They will also get wrapped up in the larger conflict between the New California Republic and the slave-trading Caesar's Legion based out of the former casino Caesar's Palace. The most notable release for Nintendo this week is Kirby's Epic Yarn. The new 2D platformer has an arts and crafts aesthetic and boasts 50 levels and co-op challenges. Also releasing this week is DJ Hero 2 for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Wii. DJ Hero 2 is a sequel to last year's warmly received original and will come with 105 songs remixed in 80 distinct ways. Notable artists featured in the game include Eminem, who lends Not Afraid, Deadmau5, who scratches up his iconic beat, Ghosts and Stuff, and Metallica offering up their 8-minute headbanging hit, The Day That Never Comes. DJ Hero 2 will come in a variety of bundles, including a party and a box set that retails for $149.99 and includes a copy of the game, 2 turntables, and a microphone, as well as a single turntable bundle for $99 and a version without accessories that retails for $49.99 for the Wii and $59.99 for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Entering the cage this week is EA Sports MMA for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. The title boasts Randy Couture and Fedor Emelianenko as cover athletes. The game allows players to take control of a number of fighters and duke it out on mats all over the world. For shooter fans, Sega this week releases Vanquish for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. A third-person shooter with an emphasis on action, Vanquish will follow a government-backed one-man army named Sam as he takes on robotic enemies in a world where an energy crisis has once again put the United States and Russia at odds. Unfortunately, this conflict isn't another Cold War, with hostilities kicked off by the obliteration of San Francisco from an orbital laser cannon. On the footy front, Konami released the latest entry in its annualized soccer franchise this Tuesday. Pro Evolution Soccer 2011 comes to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Wii. Konami is promising that Pro Evolution Soccer 2011 will deliver a completely new footballing experience. According to the publisher, this will be achieved through AI improvement and changes to the game's aesthetics, including a revamped animation system and greater control for the player over the pace of the game. For further details on the week's games, visit GameSpot's new releases page. Release dates are based on retailer listings and are subject to change.
New releases brought to you by Best Buy. Bring your games to Best Buy and get more trade-in power with select games worth $20 and up in gift cards you can use store-wide.
So guess what I was playing all weekend?
Do I have to? Can you just tell me?
Oh, come on. It wasn't that hard. I played it last Wednesday, Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Okay, yeah, Kirby. I guess
Yeah.
Kirby. No, all right, yeah, Kirby's
Yes.
Epic Yarn. Fun?
But yeah, the cute little pink bubbly guy.
Yarn abilities. He turns into a car, and then because I
Yeah.
remember last week trying to come up with a yarn pun for vehicular homicide.
Oh,
It didn't work out.
oh yeah.
It was-
I don't
it
have
wasn't-
anything for you either.
No,
But
it
yeah,
was-
so it's quite fun, co-op and cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cute.
Yeah, Kirby's Epic Yarn, that hit store shelves this Sunday. Nintendo is fond of releasing some of their big titles on Sunday mornings. And they're also fond of releasing a new crop of downloadable titles every Monday. And we're going to take a look at what they've got this week on the Wii Shop Channel.
This week on Wii Shop Channel. In Virtual Console, harken back to the days of the Super Nintendo Entertainment System with Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Return to a time of classic action and adventure. Embark on a quest as young Benjamin and fight to reclaim stolen crystals that balance the four elements of the world. In WiiWare, work out your left brain with Through Space. Through Space is an exciting puzzle game in which you move and rotate a keydrin through gaps in walls. Refine your skills in multiple game modes, normal, endless, and trick challenge. After that, give a seasonal gift with Happy Holidays Halloween. Create and send fun Halloween cards, use your imagination and dress your character in different costumes, then decorate the card and distribute some cheer. And Nintendo DSiWare, get your puzzle on with Snapdots. Journey to many planets to tackle picture puzzles, either individually in puzzle mode, or try to clear as many puzzles as you can in the frenetic time attack mode. After that, lead the fleet with Armada. Armada puts you in command of a military aircraft carrier. It's up to you to safely land and refuel fighters, bombers, and medical helicopters. Keep up the strategy with the next title, a pen and paper classic called Academy Tic-Tac-Toe. Prove you're a worthy tic-tac-toe player by entering the Tic-Tac-Toe League and advancing from the initial school club through academic, city, national, and world leagues all the way up to the Superstars League. Finally, appreciate some classic tunes with music on playing piano. This new collection of 15 popular songs allows you to enjoy a complete musical experience even if you have no prior knowledge of the piano. That's all the time we have, folks. Join us next week for more This Week on Wii Shop Channel.
Now that we've given you a roundup of some of the new games you can buy this week, we're going to take a look a little further into the future with our first of two daily demos. Ricardo Torres sat down and played some God of War Ghosts of Sparta on the PSP. Let's take a look.
Hey everybody, it's Ricardo, and I am here with Dana Jan from Ready at Dawn, who, as you all know, have been working on God of War Ghosts of Sparta for the PSP. And that game is actually done, isn't it?
That's right, we finished it.
All right, so now you brought us the done game to check out, so what are you going to show us?
We got a couple actual areas that we're going to show you. One is an area that's kind of later in the game. It's actually a spot where Kratos is trying to get back to the city of Atlantis after he'd been there in the very beginning of the game. And it's kind of this kind of cool spot where we have a pretty big combat setup that we're going to show. And the other area is actually just prior to that. It's kind of another part of the sequence that people have already seen before, where it's in this volcanic pass level where Midas is at the end, and we're going to show kind of a little bit of the path leading up to that.
All right, well, let's hop right in. And so, as we're about to jump in, for folks that maybe aren't too clear on where the game is set, this is a God of War game, but for those of us that have been following the series, it's not taking place after 3.
No. This game actually takes place right after God of War 1. And the setting of this game is actually a lot of the moments leading up to God of War 2, so it's kind of sandwiched right in between the first and the second game.
All right, and so where are we right now? You said we were
Yeah, so
back
this
to
is kind of
Atlantis.
this cool like seashore area. In the background there you can see there's like this huge swirling pit in the ocean. That's actually where Atlantis was. So Kratos here has to figure out a way to get back there. And right now there's this cool fight we have with 2 Cyclopses and all these fire harpies. And as you can see, the spear and shield, I'm kind of mixing it up. I'll be using a bunch of that and switching back and forth to the blades. So that's something that is new to the game. It's called Thera's Bane. which is kind of a modifier. It's an ability that Kratos gets in this game, and it actually imbues the Blades of Athena with the power of just completely igniting and combusting into fire like that, and it does a special damage type on enemies. You can see there I've kind of got those guys stuck with a little molten core of fire on them that explodes later.
And so, move-wise, for those of us that are very familiar with God of War, what can we expect out of this one in terms of what Kratos can do? Because obviously there's some new stuff that we have never seen before.
Yeah, I mean, there's like all the staples that people are kind of familiar with, as far as the blade combat goes. The spear and shield mechanics, they're going to be different since it's an all-new weapon for the series. We've kind of talked a little bit about them being this kind of cool mishmash of taking defensive on the offensive. So there's a lot of sweet moves you can do where you kind of keep the shield up, but you can move around while you're blocking. So that gives you advantage over a lot of enemies, especially ones who are, kind of your rooted like archers who don't move around too much. You can kind of gain ground on them. In addition to that, we have all new context-sensitive moves like you're seeing here for all the creatures. And then on top of that, we've got a couple new navigation things. There's coming up in a clip we're going to show in a little bit. He has the ability to kind of like throw his blade into inclines and slide down like 45-degree angle slopes. So there's a bunch of new stuff in the game. It's just, we try to take everything that everybody knows and loves about the game and then, throw a few new things in there for people to kind of find.
And then visually, the original game looked great on PSP. This one seems like you guys are mixing it up a little bit. There's a lot more going on in the background, and there's a lot more color, yeah?
Yeah, the game is, we took everything that we learned from doing Chains of Olympus, and then we basically kind of doubled our efforts again to try to push it even further. I mean, it's definitely visually beautiful as well as, just a completely rich gameplay experience. We have a super talented team at Ready at Dawn, and they were able to find new ways of making this game look even more incredible. I mean, Chains of Olympus, I think, at the time we released that game, we were pretty happy with the way that game looked, and it was really well received. And I think people kind of felt it was like the pinnacle of PSP graphics, but this game definitely takes that up a few notches. I think that I think people will be impressed at the difference if you hold this next to the original game, and how much better it looks.
Were you guys able to kind of figure out how much more performance you're getting out of the PSP with this game as opposed to the original?
Yeah, again, we thought we were pretty much up against the wall in terms of what was possible from the system hardware standpoint, but going back in, being a little bit smarter about what we're doing, a little bit more careful with our resources, and obviously there's a lot of techniques and tricks that the artists learn along the way, and the programmers have figured out a few places where we can kind of scrimp and save a little bit more. You're able to do even more amazing things, so I think it's just a matter of us putting in the time and really figuring out how to make it work.
And so right now we're heading towards what looks like kind of a big old pit in the ocean. So do you guys definitively solve what happened to Atlantis? Is this what we can expect?
Yeah, I don't want to give it all away, but yeah, definitely, it's something that people are familiar with, this mythical lost city of Atlantis. And so we thought it was a cool thing to have that be this set piece for the game and kind of figure out what happened to it and have Kratos be involved in the story of the city. And it's it's something that God of War 3 also alludes to. You had this battle with Poseidon in God of War 3, and he's talking about the fact that there's some animosity between Kratos and Poseidon, and we get to find out why that is in this game.
And in terms of scope, how big is the world that you kind of have to travel in?
It's big. Definitely, that was one of the things when we made this game we thought was really important. A lot of the feedback we got was that Chains of Olympus was a great game, but people wanted more of it. They wanted, to stay in that world and that adventure longer. So, we made a game that actually has quite a bit more gameplay in it, quite a bit more levels and everything. So, you're going to see a bigger world and have a longer experience in this game.
All right, so let's switch it up to the next area right now, which is where is this?
That area is this volcanic pass, and it's this area that's completely flooded with lava from something that Kratos had done earlier in the game. And so you're basically having to retrace your steps and kind of walk through the carnage that you created yourself. And it's obviously like, at the time it seemed like it was a good thing to do, and then later you have to deal with the consequences, pretty much standard Kratos fare. In Chains of Olympus, we found that telling more about Kratos as, going into his story, his personal life and his backstory was really rewarding, and people, seem to really like to know more about, how their favorite Spartan came to be. So in this game, in Ghost of Sparta, we took the same approach. We know where he's going in God of War 2, and he's kind of starting that quest for vengeance against Zeus and the gods of Olympus. So this game gave us kind of an opportunity to go, why is he so pissed? Like, what happened that made him so mad? We know some of it, we know he's been tricked into killing his family, but what else could possibly have gone wrong?
All right, Dana, well, game looks great. There is much murdering of mythical creatures, which is kind of a must-have for God of War. Only big question we've got now is, when is the game coming out?
The game comes out November 2nd, so pretty soon.
All right, well, there you go. That is your last look at God of War Ghost of Sparta for PSP, because it is going to be out really soon. So until then, check back on the site for more footage, and now let's get back with the show.
So our second demo is coming up, but before that, we should talk about the trivia prizes.
We got trivia
Sims
prizes.
3 for the
Sims 3
console.
stuff.
Yes.
For console 1, PlayStation 3.
Yes, 360. And for the
360.
DS.
And for the Nintendo DS, we'll be giving away copies of this game. A t-shirt.
Yes.
It's a t-shirt. And then this funky little item, which looks totally weird on our set, but as you can see, the odd silhouette where
It's
my
actually
rib
green.
cage should be. It's like this. It's the green color of this thing here, which is also kind of not exactly green.
Yes.
It looks normal and it's cool. You can put it on your head, and then people will actually be able to see it.
Well, while you leave that on, we're going to go ahead to our demo, where we actually have 2 Sims demo this week, but we're going to start off today with the Sims 3 console. Let's check it out. Hey everyone, and welcome to our daily demo. I'm joined by Azure from EA, here to show us the Sims 3 for consoles. I see you brought a 360 with you.
Absolutely.
All right. So what can you tell us about the game?
Well, the first thing is that we're super excited to offer the Sims 3 for console that actually is, the Sims game. It's the game that everybody has been playing. You can create Sims, unique Sims. You can create what they look like. You can also create their personalities. If we dip into the menu, you can go through and see everything about your Sims. So how old they are, their personality traits. You could make a Sim who is a kleptomaniac, hopeless romantic, evil Sim if you would like to. And then on top of it being the Sims 3 game that everyone has been playing, there are also some new features that we think console players will like.
Okay. And so then everything that you can expect from the Sims 3s in terms of customization is all kind of ported over. I guess the controls would be one of the big things. It's like, how do the controls feel now that it's on the console?
The controls feel, pretty organic. I remember the first time I got my hands on the game, it's just about learning where things are, and then you can open up your menus to see everything about your Sim. So everything that you would find in the PC game, you can find in the menus of the console game.
Okay, cool. So let's go over some of those new features. What are we going to show us today?
Absolutely. Well, one of my favorite new features is karma powers. And if you've played The Sims before, you know that your Sims, you control them by clicking on things and making them interact with people and objects.
Yeah.
Well, with karma powers, it allows you to interact with your Sims and control them in a way you've never been able to before. There are 8 karma powers for good, and there are 5 for, some mischief. You can create an earthquake for your Sims. You can haunt your Sims' house. Epic
Aw.
fail is a fun one. Right now, I think I'm going to curse one of my Sims and see.
So this isn't unlimited. You can't just be constantly doing this, and these karma powers are unlocked as you go?
Yes, it's not unlimited. What I've done for the sake of the demo is I've unlocked all of the karma powers, but in the beginning, some of them will be grayed out. You have to do specific challenges in order to earn those karma powers. And then also using them is not unlimited. You have a set amount of karma points that you have to earn in order to, I did the curse on him. He's having a hard time. But you have to earn the karma points, and they run out as you use your karma power. So you really have to be strategic about how you're going to use them and for what.
So this can quickly change the story of what you're going for, and just kind of
Absolutely.
Fun way to spice things up, I guess.
And some of the bad karma powers are, just a lot of fun to kind of mess with your Sims, and then some of the good ones really help you out. Like Super Satisfy maxes out all their needs at once. The Get Lucky karma power, your Sim will have the best day ever. They'll go to work, they'll get that promotion.
Oh wow!
They'll talk to that girl who's been dissing them, and all of a sudden she'll like them better. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, if you can only use this on people in real life.
I know, right? One of the other new features that we have are challenges and rewards. So with the challenges and rewards, there are some that are really, really easy, like the Go Llamas. You have to watch a game at the stadium. And then there are some that are super hard, like Woohoo with 10 Sims. That's going to take you a little longer, but it's worth more challenge points.
I see. They're kind of like in-game achievements.
Yes, absolutely. And some of them do translate to Xbox Live achievements and PlayStation trophies.
So how many challenges are there to kind of go through?
There are a ton. I'm actually not sure exactly how many there are, but there are a ton that you can go through and complete all. There's actually a super uber challenge called Complete 100 Challenges. So there's definitely over than 100. And what you would do with your challenges, with your challenge points, after you've gotten them, is you'll go into the challenge shop, which I'm in right now, and you can purchase clothing, you can purchase new accessories for your Sims, building upgrades, and then also some karma powers. So those grayed out karma powers that you see in the beginning, this is how you're going to get them.
Firestorm, that looks interesting.
Oh yeah.
So there's also some online features too with Sims 3, right?
Yes. So for the first time ever, we're allowing players to, players have always created Sims, they've created their houses, they've created, the cast of their favorite TV show, but now we've allowed you to share that with other people right from within your game. So if I open up my catalog, I can show you, say I'm really into toilets for some reason.
Bargain John.
Right here, we're not hooked up to the internet right now, but this spot would be populated with the #1 item on the exchange that someone's customized, their own customizable toilet, whether that's Argyle or whatever. And I would click the A button, and it would be downloaded directly into my game for me to place within my Sims home without ever leaving my gameplay.
All right, so it's all seamless, and you just like hop in and out.
Absolutely. And there's also, so for me personally, I am not a builder. That is not my skill set. I'm very bad at architecture, but I love for my Sims to live in these big, huge mansions. So what I would do is I would actually look up big, huge mansion in the exchange and be able to download one for my Sims.
Oh, and then see what other people have built.
Absolutely.
All right, very cool. So when does the game come out and on what platform?
The game comes out in October 26th. For next week.
All right.
For the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the Nintendo DS. And it comes out in November for the Nintendo Wii.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much for coming by and showing us the game.
Absolutely. I'm going to end with a firestorm for my Sims.
Oh.
They won't like that very much.
So does that burn the whole place down?
It does. It does start a fire.
In the neighborhood?
If your Sim is brave, they'll put out the fire themselves. If you don't have a brave Sim, invest in a fire alarm. That would be smart.
Very nice. That's a great way to end this demo. All right, thank you so much again.
It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Now on with the rest of our show.
And now is your chance to win those prizes I was goofing around with earlier. So here's the way it's going to work. We got 3 prize packs. One is the Sims 360 with the little head doohickey. I promise it's there. It's real. Number 2 with the DS and the keychain. It dangles. And number 3, the t-shirt with the PS3. So be sure to specify, just choose the system you want and you'll get the little bonus thing with it. Be sure to specify that when you answer this question.
Yes, thanks for that, Chris. In keeping with the themes of 3, can you list 3 karma powers in the Sims 3 console and what they do? If you have the answer, you can email us on the spot at gamespot.com or submit your answer in the green answer trivia button on the side of the page. So for all you Sims fans, there's actually going to be another Sims 3 demo on Thursday. It's going to be the Sims 3 Late Night, the new expansion pack for the PC. Also, we have a Connect event coming up on Thursday, so you'll probably see something on location from us later in the week, perhaps.
We're doing that. A lot of waving around,
Yes.
trying not to whack each other, as we always do. And checking out some of the launch titles for Connect, which is coming up at the beginning of October.
Very exciting.
This week is also, of course, busy with reviews, as we mentioned, so be sure to check those out as they hit the site early this week. And that'll about do it for us here.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, super. Thanks for joining us today, folks. Hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to tune in later this week for more great GameSpot video content coming your way, courtesy of the GameSpot studio, folks. So on their behalf, I'm Chris Waters.
I'm Sophia Tong.
Saying have a great week.
If you have the answer, you can send it to us at onthespot@gamespot.com or answer it in the Answer Green trivia module button.
Thingy.
Yeah, on the side of the
Doohickey.
page.
Yeah, it's right there.
Answer Green, yeah.
Answer trivia.
Right, do you want me to do that
Green.
again?